this is Yuri with Moving Sales Professionals. We are here for another episode of our podcast. And with me today, I have Ben Fischer, CEO of ZivZo Advertising, Marketing, and Video Production Agency. Benny is an experienced business owner with unique understanding of business needs that allow them to scale, having run quite a few businesses. And with more and more moving companies coming to Ben, he is here to tell us his 7 free ways to scale. So, Benny, how many businesses have you run? Have you had
I've had
approximately?
60 different operating businesses. The majority of them were restaurants, manufactured bakery products, beverages. Also did a lot of real estate. Had 2 real estate brokerage firms, and I was also in the vending business for a while. So, in each one of these businesses, I handled all of the marketing and advertising, graphic design. I just had that knack to do that kind of thing, and eventually fell into doing it for my friends, and then opening an agency. So it just kind of fell into it because it was something I enjoyed, and I happened to be fairly good at it. So, and a lot of the things that I did for my businesses to scale, I utilized that same method in various businesses that my agency handles. So the strategy is a little bit old school and new school mixed together, and our results have been fantastic.
Mm, That is awesome. That's great. And now tell me how you have got into moving.
Friend of mine had a moving company and needed a video for his website and a little bit of marketing video, and we shot that. Ended up doing a lot of the social media marketing and lead generation. And as we started doing that, other companies started noticing uh, the things that we were doing and started calling me. And one account leads to another and another and another, and that's how it's grown. So we do a lot of things with moving companies, and I've learned a lot about moving companies in the last couple of years. And there's a lot of things that can be done that don't cost any money or a little bit of money, uh, but a lot of it's common sense. Pretty
Okay.
simple.
So how many moving companies have you worked with at this point?
A dozen.
Okay. That's awesome. All right. So let's get into those 7 ways that can help a moving company with that's not going to cost them anything. So tell
All
us.
right. Well, for example, your truck is a rolling billboard. So how you create that look on your truck and the message that you're sending with that moving billboard is important. So one of the things I've noticed a lot of people um, don't do is when they have a an email address or a website address and it's a long name. It's a Texas moving company kind of thing. People's brain don't generate or understand what they're looking at as if it's a one size font, if it's a bold font or a large font. I mean, or it's all lowercase. To Your brain doesn't work that quickly to identify the 3 words in your URL. So what I always tell people to do is to capitalize the first letter of each word. So in Texas Moving Company, you capitalize the T, the M, and the C, and people's brain will digest that quicker. And so you always want to keep it simple so people can see the name of your company or your website address, so they'll be able to remember it. That's the most important thing. And and something like that is so simple, it's like having your phone number on the truck. Make sure it's big enough that people can see it and know, can call it, and try to get a phone number that's easy to remember. So that's the simplest thing. Um, and of course, a shorter URL is better. less letters in the URL is easier for people to remember, and it's less likely they're going to make a mistake when they send you an email or type in your website address. So that is a simple, free way to make sure people can contact you. That's the lifeline of any moving company, is being able to contact you. Second, is to have somebody, a live body, answer the phone. In today's world, it's difficult to have questions answered when you call a moving company and you get a recording. You need to have somebody answer the phone, has some understanding, has a good phone personality, and
that's what we're good for.
Yeah, and to able to respond to good and bad things. There's problems that need to be resolved, and there's bookings that need to get set up. So having somebody answer your phone that understands your business is very important.
Okay. And if you could, as you're telling us what other things you got going on, you guys may see here in this video, you have some of the graphics that have been done by ZivZo Advertising, Marketing, and Video Production. So if you could kind of scroll through those so people can see different things that you have available, that would be just, allow them to kind of just one by one.
Okay. So we've done a lot of graphic design, and these are ads that are running on social media. Get a lot of, if you're in the office moving business, I would highly suggest LinkedIn, and post at least 2 to 3 times a day, and 7 days a week. And you want to create branding that, look, 99% of the people you're marketing to on social media don't need a mover. However, if you keep banging them with your branding, when they do need a mover, you're going to hear from them. So it's important to always keep yourself in the face of the public with your branding, and have logos and color schemes that are consistent, so they recognize it online and they see your trucks around. And that is another free way to market through the social media and generic marketing. But you need to be consistent at it. You can't just do one ad a week or one a month. You need somebody who really understands social media and the process to market a company through a social media. And some people know how to do it and others don't, but that is something that is no cost other than creating the ads and then posting. So I think that
like
is
that.
Another way.
For example.
Pardon me?
Like that, for example. My background just changed.
That's pretty simple, pretty basic. You're ready to move, right? And this is when we moved mountains for our clients. I mean, we're in the moving business, so what better way to get your point across is to say we move mountains for you. So that ad is, and it's just general, everyday relocating. If you're in the office moving business, there's different. You're going after a different kind of client. You're going after more of office clients, and LinkedIn is the best for that. You can do TikTok ads with your phone, and you can do all kinds of marketing that doesn't cost anything. Another feature that I like, I tell people to utilize all the time, is QR codes. QR codes is a second bite at the apple, and it's free. So if you're doing any kind of ad in a print, magazine, newspaper, put in a QR code that goes to your website or goes to that inquiry form that you want people to fill out to come to you, and it makes the print ad perform better. So if you're spending money on a print form or print ad, and a QR code is going to increase the value of that upwards of 60%. That ad will perform that much better with a QR code. QR codes on your business card that goes to your website. If you have a company video, put a QR code on your stationery, your business cards. Your truck should have QR codes. This, where you have your URL to the website, your phone number, and it should be a QR code so people can scan it and be on your website as they're sitting in traffic with nothing to do. What better way to market? And it's free. QR codes are free. So I'm a big advocate of QR codes on everything. So even if you, for example, you're moving a home, put up a lawn sign that has a QR code and your company information, and and then offer them a referral. If somebody calls off that sign, give them $50 off, $100 off, whatever. I mean, these types of marketing doesn't cost you anything, and it's something that every company should utilize the QR codes because it's free and they're very effective.
Okay. And what are the other? I think we have 3 ways so far. What
All
would you
right,
say the other 5
referrals.
would
I
be?
mean, I mentioned your trucks. I mean, referrals are the key to moving businesses in a lot of circumstances. And so how do you get referrals is, obviously you do a good job and somebody says, call Joe Blow Moving Company. Or, another way to do it is buy your referrals. Have signs on your truck. So, you'll give somebody $25, $50, $100 for any referral. And even if it's a referral for themselves, so what? They called you. Because that's you've hooked them. Now you gotta reel them in and close the deal. So if $100 or $50, whatever you want to offer them, or a gift card, is something, there is a small cost to it, but it's a way to attract people, because everybody wants to save money. So a referral system or a bonus if they, after you do the move, if they write a good review for you, you could give them, a gift certificate or something along that line as well. So I'm big on reviews because if your reviews online or on your Google or Yelp are bad, basically what you're doing is you're advertising for your competition. Because if somebody comes to your website or they go to Google and they see that you have a low rating, the likelihood is they're gone. So you're helping your competition with low ratings. So how do you get better ratings? Well, a lot of it is the job you're doing, but a lot of it also is because most people who post reviews are only posting them because there was a problem. So what you need to do as a moving owner is to make sure that the clients are putting in reviews that are good. And how do you do that? You just follow up with them, make sure they were happy. If there's
Or
a
you can
problem,
do something a little bit faster. So my suggestion with that, and I always suggest that to any of my clients, and just in general, industry wide, the best thing to do is get that review right there and then before physically leaving the job. You're there, the customer's happy. They just tipped you guys however much they tipped you guys. But they're ecstatic. They're happy about the move. They're happy about how everything was done. So
right.
at this point, since they're so happy about what everything's done, take advantage of that. Oh, great. I'm so happy to hear that. Well, you could really help our local business, support our business. Can we, here's an iPad. Can you click here and submit a review? Can you click here and submit a review? Do it right there. So what if you have to pay you guys for 10 extra minutes of sitting there? Those reviews are going to be worth it so much more than that just those extra 10 minutes that you had to pay you guys for.
Yeah, that is true. If you can get it done at on site, that's beautiful.
That's the best way, because reality of our business is this. If the customer is happy, he's that much less likely to put something online. When
Absolutely.
they're pissed off, that's when those reviews start piling up.
So if you have happy clients, take advantage of it. Now, there's also a platform that might interest you all. Is called Bird's Eye. And what Bird's Eye does, it allows you to control a little bit of the posting online. And what this platform does is it allows you to send an email out with a link to post a review, and the reviews are not immediately posted. They come back to you, and if there's a poor review, you can try to remedy that and to contact the customer and to change that review around by remedying the problem, and then it will be posted. So there's a lot of platforms out there, not free, but worthwhile if you're having trouble with reviews, getting them, and or being able to filter out any poor ones. This Bird's Eye platform does that job. Okay, so I think that's worthy of looking into. I mentioned earlier, another thing that I find is response time. When somebody calls your office, they want to move, they're not waiting around for you because you're going fishing. They want answers now. So back to have a live person answer your phone
Back
is
to
key.
having moving sales professionals do sales for you. So we certainly, our goal is certainly to make sure that your phones are being answered. Now, of course, if it's a busy season and the flow is crazy, at that point, it doesn't matter who you have in your office. If the calls are coming one after another, there's only so much you can do realistically. But at the same time, the phones do need to be answered. At the same time, if we don't pick up the phone for you, some other company pick up the phone. You need to follow up. You need to call back. Usually what I tell my guys, if they're on the phone with somebody, they could be in the middle of an inventory. Of course, you can't do this like 3 times during a call, but certainly you can ask to put them on hold for 2 seconds to take the other person's information and call them back. At least that's at least what needs to be done. It's much worse when the caller continues ringing and it's not picking up, because they're just going to go down that Google line and pick the next company on the list.
For me, it's nothing more frustrating than not being able to get through to somebody and waiting for a call back. But again, another a free idea is to upgrade your website. I mean, a lot of the text and photographs in your websites need to be reviewed and modified, updated photographs, and to keep your website up to date. And that website generates leads and money for you. So it's your website is a money machine if you set it up to be a money machine. So it's important to have it set up in a fashion that makes it simple for a potential customer to fill out the forms or to see all the services you provide. And I highly recommend a video about the company, an introduction video to your company. And that should be placed above the fold so that when they come to your website, one of the first things they see is a video, because people don't read anymore. They'd rather just click the button and sit there and watch the video and learn about what you're all about by that video. You can do a video yourself, but I highly recommend getting a professional. But it's something that you all should consider in today's world, and also use those videos for marketing at the same time. But updating your website is very important. So I would highly recommend it.
Ben, this has been extremely informative, and
I wasn't quite done.
oh yeah, yeah. There's a lot of information. I don't know if one episode is going to be enough.
We can record it and you can cut it up.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do, because I wanted to get into getting testimonials on video as well. That's the best marketing tool available. And they don't have to be professional. You can shoot it with an iPhone, but I think people make the mistake of when they shoot a video with their iPhone, they need to turn the iPhone horizontally and not shoot vertically, because that's how it's going to look on your web page. So I would highly recommend getting short testimonials from happy customers and load your website up with testimonials from happy customers. There's nothing better than a customer saying how wonderful your company is, because if you sit there and tell people how wonderful you are, it doesn't have the same impact as an actual customer. So get customer testimonials. Another thing you can do that doesn't cost a great deal of money is look professional. When your staff goes to make a move, they should be in uniforms, they should be clean, they should be well groomed, and they should look the part of a professional. I mean, you don't want to pull up with a U-Haul truck and a couple of guys coming out with dirty shirts and that's not how you're going to impress anybody. Look professional, have that professional appearance, and you need people that are going to be easy to get along with and friendly to the customers. If they're not, it's just going to be a situation that's not going to be end up good if your people are not courteous and know how to take care of their customers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so you want me to continue on?
Sure. If we
Okay.
need to cut things, we'll cut things later.
Yeah, okay. Now there's two sides to the moving business. Is one is the commercial side, office moving, and then there's residential. And I find that when you're doing advertising, either it's generic advertising or paid advertising, there's an old saying in the business that half your advertising works, the other half doesn't work. But you're never going to know what half works, so you got to keep doing it all. And advertising doesn't happen overnight. It's a slow process. And I find that some of the clients that come my way feel that if we're going to start marketing advertising, they need to see results within a week. And that's just not going to happen. You're going to have to really be patient, stay the course. And in the times we're in right now, in a recession, most people are cutting back on advertising because it's easy to cut that advertising budget. But the reality is that you should continue to advertise. You don't want to cut your advertising budget in a recession, because what happens there is you disappear, your branding goes away, and people stop thinking about you. Now, people are still going to be moving, recession or not, and
Right.
the people that stop advertising lose out on the branding, and the people that continue to advertising pick up market share. So even though the times are not great now, don't let that detour your marketing program. Keep it going. Now there's a couple of platforms that I think are worthy for both sides of the market, the moving residential properties. There's a company called USA Home Leads, and what they do is they have a link to their website that you sign up for, and you can find out by the county every day whose property has come on the market for sale.
Right.
It's a great platform. And then they even set up a postcard that if you want to send postcards to these clients, you can do that by just one click of your mouse. So USA Home Leads is a company I highly recommend. On
So this
the
is different than USA Home Listings, right?
No, that is USA Home List.
Okay.
That's the name of the company. And then you got another for office leads. There's a company called Wendover, and they send out leads. They do all the research and find out whose leases are up and when they're moving, and they send out leads to office moving companies. And the thing about that is, if you got to have people in your company that know how to cold call and be consistent, because typically on an office move, you have to touch that person several times before you even get them on the phone. It's not easy just to do that type of cold calling, but it does work. It's just consistency and just not giving up. You have to hit somebody multiple times through phone calls, through emails, through mailers. The office moving game is a much different game.
Well,
So
generally, no matter what game you're in, whether it's office moving or residential, follow-up is the key.
well, it's always the case, right? And I would also recommend that the movers get into sponsoring community events, things that are going on in the community. Anything you can do to get your name out there and be in the public space is going to help you. Be the authority on moving, and people will come to you. Be branded, and they know your name and they see it all the time. They're going to come to you, and provide them a good service and look professional. I mean, it's basic for every business that I've been involved in. the basic things you need to do to scale your business. It all boils down to, branding, common sense, and effort in making that happen on a daily basis. So there's a number of ways to provide services for these people that don't cost a lot of money, but you have to be on it and consistent. And I think I've given you all a lot of good ideas to think about, and I hope you do. If you need help, I'm available. Call us up. We're happy to work with you.
And of course, we're going to put the links for Ben and some of the things that he mentioned. We're going to put them at the bottom of this podcast. And once again, Ben, thank you very much for joining us for our podcast. We'll have you again soon. And as we always say, the world moves on its own. Let the professionals move yours for you. Thank you very much for joining us for our podcast, and have a wonderful day.
Thank you.